Okay, first thing I want to ask is, thanks for sitting down with us. Why do you want to do this fight, Herschel Walker? What is your main motivation for this fight?
Well, I'm finally going to be healthy to do a fight, number one. I think people have seen I've fought 3 celebrity fights, which those are not what they really seem to be. They're more or less kind of set up in a certain way. And obviously fought Hungman Choi with a really bad knee, with really short notice, with no training whatsoever. You know, man, 7'2", 360 pounds. You don't want to go in there unprepared. So I really couldn't show the world what I could actually do. I do have an extensive background in martial arts, so I really, wanted to make sure that the next opponent I fought, I was well trained and completely healthy. And definitely behind, if I can get the Gracie family behind me to train me for 2 or 3 months, it'll be an incredible fight. Plus, I mean, you got Herschel Walker, who's an ex-baseball player, an ex-football player. I'm the ex-baseball player. We're about the same age. I'm a little bit heavier than he is. And I think it'll be an exciting, entertaining fight. We're both elite athletes, and especially in our sports 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Right. You mentioned that you have an extensive background in martial arts. Could you explain for us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, I've been doing martial arts for about 20 years now. And obviously started when I was a whole lot younger. But I've never been able to actually fight under the martial arts technique completely healthy. I think the fight you saw with Hungman Choi, threw some punches, a few kicks. My knee was, before the fight, I had a torn calf, a torn quad muscle. Actually, I had a brace on, which it made me take off right before the fight. I wasn't really supposed to fight in that fight, but I decided to go out there and do it. Which is crazy because a man of that size can really hurt you. So you have to be very, 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 very careful. Been doing Taekwondo, Muay Thai, and kickboxing for a very long time, and enjoy doing it. I'm an elite athlete, and I love the competition. I love the adrenaline flow, and what better way to actually get that kind of adrenaline flow going in there and fighting.
But how did you feel when you came up to Cesar Gracie's camp and you trained with Nick Diaz? How did you feel on the ground? Do you feel like you have a basic ground game? But do you feel comfortable? Do you feel like you could learn a lot from Nick and Nate Diaz?
Oh, I could definitely. Yeah, I could definitely learn a lot. They taught me so much in a couple hours I was actually there with training with them. Just the standard basics of not being taken down. And I think my strike game is pretty good, which they can help me a lot with. But I think the most important thing is getting experience, getting in there into proper training, some proper technique, some conditioning. I definitely need that conditioning to last. I think they're 3 rounds, 5-minute rounds.
Of course. And I'm not saying this to be insulting, but this is, I'll say you're not going to come in and be serious. But I can tell you, if Cesar Gracie says you're on his team and he's your guy, this guy's going to be ready to go. He's not going to be a joke. This isn't a camp where you go to be funny. This isn't a camp where you go to be like that. This is going to be a serious training camp. And, Cesar's talked about already inviting you into the camp, I believe.
No, I agree. I saw their training when I was there, even before I started training with Nick and his brother, and they were really intense. They were really serious, and I'm like, wow, this is great. I mean, I believe, I'm 6'4", 250. I believe I still got some great physical years behind me. People have not seen anywhere close to what I can actually do. I mean, kicks and punching combinations. But I do need the actual training. I do need the actual experience. And number one thing, I've got to be healthy. Nothing much about it.
Last night I spoke with Herschel Walker, and I mentioned to him, would you like to fight Jose Canseco? I've heard these stories on the internet. I've heard these stories from people. Face to face, Herschel Walker, what do you want to do? And Herschel Walker said, a quote, "I will buy Jose Canseco a ticket to come to my house in Georgia and fight me in my backyard, but I will not fight him in a cage." What do you think of that?
It doesn't make any sense. I think the proper place we should fight is in a cage with millions of viewers. I don't know why he wants to fight in his backyard. It doesn't make any sense. What is he, Kimbo Slice now?
So let's get this fight, guys. What do we have to lose? The biggest fight ever with one of the greatest baseball players of all time, Mr. 40-40.
Give me a chance to prove what I can really do under the right training and being healthy.